She didn't knock. She kicked the door open. Cold air hit the room. Rain came in with her. And then everything stopped. 20 men, mid-sentence, mid-drink, mid-laugh, just froze. Because she didn't look scared. That was the first thing. She should have looked scared. She was 14, soaked through, hair stuck to her face, one sleeve torn, blood dry along her lip. But she wasn't shaking. She walked 3 steps inside like she had already decided this was the only place left on earth, and she wasn't leaving without something. Cain was the first to move, not fast, slow, like approaching something unpredictable. He set his glass down. "Hey," his voice was low, steady. "You lost." She shook her head. "You need help." Another shake. The room stayed silent. Even the jukebox in the corner felt quiet. Then she said it, and it landed wrong. Heavy. Too heavy. "My brother is locked in our house. He hasn't come out in 3 days." No one moved. Dex leaned forward. Rabbit stopped breathing. Big Tom just stared. Cain took 1 step closer. "Say that again?" She didn't hesitate. "My brother, he is in the basement. He hasn't eaten properly. He's not answering me anymore." Still no emotion, no shaking voice, just facts. That made it worse. "How old?" 10. That word hit different. 10. Cain crouched in front of her now, eye level. Who did this? She looked straight at him, didn't blink. "My father." Pause. Then she added, "You know him?" Something shifted, not loud, but deep, like a crack forming under the floor. Cain's jaw tightened. "What's his name?" She held his gaze. "Victor Hale." The room exhaled, not loud, but sharp. Dex muttered under his breath, "No way." Rabbit shook his head. "That's not just some guy." Big Tom stood up slowly. "That's half this town." Cain didn't look away from her. "Victor Hale." He repeated it like testing it. "You sure?" She nodded. "I live there." Silence again, thicker now, because everyone in that room knew exactly what that name meant. Money, power, police, judges, people who disappear. You don't go near that house. You don't even talk about that house. Cain stood up slowly, looked around the room, then back at her. "Why here? Why us?" She swallowed once, first time any sign of being human. "Because no one else will help." That landed harder than everything else. Not loud, but final. Dex leaned back. "You go to the police." She let out a small breath. "He is the police." No one argued with that, because they all knew. Cain ran a hand over his beard, thinking. Fast, danger, fast. "You understand what you're asking?" She stepped closer, closer than anyone expected. "I'm not asking." Another pause. "I'm telling you, he's going to die if I go back alone." That was it. That was the line. Something in the room shifted completely. Not fear, not hesitation. Something older, rule-based, unwritten. Cain looked at the men around him, one by one. No one spoke. They didn't need to. Big Tom nodded once. Rabbit looked down, then back up. Dex exhaled slowly. Cain turned back to her. "What's your name?" "Maya." "Maya." He repeated it like locking it in. You got a plan? And that's when something changed again, because she didn't look confused, didn't hesitate, didn't say no. She reached down, pulled something out of her jacket, a folded notebook, worn edges, bent, used. She handed it to him. I've been watching him 3 days, every hour, every movement. Kane opened it. Names, times, doors, windows, patterns. His eyes slowed, then sharpened. You did this? She nodded. No pride, just fact. He keeps the basement locked from the inside, but the key is not always on him. She stepped closer. There's a window behind the storage wall, small, but not sealed. Dex leaned forward. She's serious. Kane flipped another page. Security routes, camera angles, neighbors. He closed the notebook slowly, looked at her. 14. Standing in front of 20 grown men, and she had done more in 3 days than most people would in a lifetime. Kane nodded once, slow. All right. The word dropped heavy. We're going to get your brother. No big speech, no drama, just a decision. But then Maya grabbed his sleeve, not hard, but enough. You don't understand. He looked at her. Her voice dropped for the first time. If he finds out before we get there, he won't hide it. He'll end it. Silence. Kane held her gaze, then nodded again. Then we don't give him time. He turned. Dex, Rabbit, Tom, get your bikes. No noise, no lights. We move now. The room exploded into motion, chairs scraping, boots hitting floor, engines about to wake, but not one word wasted. Kane grabbed his jacket, then looked back at her. You stay behind me. You don't run. You don't stop. You don't speak unless I ask. She nodded. No hesitation. Good. He opened the door. Rain hit harder now. Engines roared to life one by one, low, controlled, like something waking up. Maya stepped out into the storm with them. No looking back. Not once. Engines cut before the street, half a block away. Dark, quiet, controlled. 5 bikes rolled forward without sound. Rain hitting asphalt, streetlights flickering. House at the end of Magnolia Drive sitting still. Too still. Maya pointed. That one. No hesitation. Kane studied it. 2 floors, lights upstairs, everything else dark. He already didn't like it. People like Hale don't leave things unguarded. Dex moved closer. You sure he's home? Maya nodded. Office light. He stays there late, always. Rabbit scanned the street. No movement, no neighbors outside, no cars passing. Dead quiet. Kane exhaled slow. All right. He looked at Maya. Last chance. You stay here. She shook her head instantly. No. Too fast, too certain. I know where everything is, you don't. Kane stared at her, measuring, then gave one short nod. Stay close. You fall behind once, we leave you. She didn't react, just nodded. Deal. They moved around the side, through shadow, boots soft against wet ground. Back door came into view. Maya stepped ahead. This one doesn't lock properly. Dex smirked under his breath. Of course it doesn't. Kane tested the handle. It opened. Too easy. That made it worse. They slipped inside. Kitchen. Clean. Too clean. No dishes, no mess. Everything perfect,
like a showroom, like no one actually lived there. Maya didn't look around, straight to the pantry, third shelf, behind cans. She reached in, pulled out a key, small.
Silver Kane took it. Eyes still scanning, house felt wrong. Too quiet. No TV, no footsteps, no movement upstairs. Rabbit leaned in. You hear that? They all paused. Nothing. Exactly nothing. That's what he meant. Kane moved toward the hallway, Maya right behind him, Dex and Rabbit covering Tom at the rear. Basement door, heavy steel, reinforced. And there it was. Padlock. Not normal. Not inside a house. Kane crouched, put the key in, turned it. Click. Too loud. Everyone froze, listened. Still nothing. Kane pulled the lock free, opened the door slowly. Darkness. Cold air hit them, different from outside. Damp, heavy. Wrong. Maya stepped forward. He's down there. Her voice was quieter now, not scared, but closer. Kane grabbed her shoulder. Stay. She shook him off. No, he won't answer strangers. That hit. Kane let go. 1 second, then nodded. Fine, but you stay behind me. They moved down. Steps creaked, each one louder than it should be. Flashlight clicked on. Beam cut through the dark concrete walls. Storage shelves. Nothing at first. Then, a shape. Corner. Kane moved faster. Light landed. Kid curled on the floor. Too still. Maya pushed past him. Leo. Her voice cracked. First time, Leo. No response. Kane dropped beside him, checked breathing. Slow, too slow, but there, alive. Barely. Dex swore under his breath. Jesus. Maya knelt down, hands shaking now. Finally, Leo, hey, I'm here. Nothing. Kane looked up. We move now. Rabbit nodded. Tom stepped forward, lifting the kid carefully. Too light. Way too light. Maya stayed close, watching every second, like if she looked away, he would disappear. They turned toward the stairs, fast now, no more stealth, no more waiting. Halfway up, a sound. Upstairs. Footsteps. Everyone froze. Kane looked up, then at Dex, then at Maya. Her face went pale. He wasn't supposed to be here. That was the first time fear, real fear. Kane whispered, change of plan. Now. Lights flicked on above, footsteps heavier now, coming closer. And then, a voice. Calm, cold. You shouldn't be in my house. Silence snapped. Everything changed. Nobody moved. Not Kane, not Dex, not anyone. Leo in. Tom's arms, Maya frozen beside him. And that voice. It wasn't loud. Didn't need to be. You shouldn't be in my house. Kane turned slowly. Up the stairs, Victor Hale stood at the top, barefoot, shirt sleeves rolled, like he had just stepped out of a quiet evening. Not surprised. That was the problem. Not angry, not shouting, just watching them, like he had expected this eventually. His eyes landed on Maya, and something shifted. Not emotion. Recognition. You brought them here. Maya didn't answer, didn't look away. Kane stepped forward, blocking her. We're leaving, simple, direct. Hale tilted his head slightly, studying him. You think you are. Calm, controlled, like a man who had never been told no. Dex moved half a step. Rabbit adjusted his stance. Small shifts, but they mattered. Hale noticed all of it. Of course he did. He smiled slightly, not friendly. You boys don't understand where you are. Kane didn't respond, didn't play the game, just one step forward. We're leaving. Hale's eyes flicked to Leo, then back to Kane. That child belongs in this house. That word, belongs. Something snapped inside the room, not loud, but real. Maya's hands clenched. Kane's voice dropped. No. Hale exhaled through his nose, almost amused. You break into my home, you take what is mine, and you think you walk out? He took one step down, then another, slow, measured, like he had all the time in the world. Do you know who I am? Nobody answered, because they did. That wasn't the problem. Kane held his ground. Doesn't matter. That was it. That was the line. Hale stopped. For the first time, something real crossed his face. Small, but there. Then it was gone. It matters, he said it quietly, because everything in this town answers to me. Dex let out a short breath. Not fear, more like irritation. Yeah, we heard. Rabbit glanced toward the hallway. Exit still clear, but not for long. Hale's gaze moved between them, counting, measuring. You think no one will come? He gestured slightly. You think you walk out of here and this disappears? Kane took another step, closer now. No speeches, no threats. Just distance closing. We don't need it to disappear. Hale watched him, then gave a small nod, understanding something. Ah, there it is. You're not here to hide. You're here to start something. Silence. Heavy. Kane didn't deny it, didn't confirm it, didn't need to. Hale smiled again, wider this time. That's a mistake. Maya spoke, first time since the stairs. No. Her voice was low but steady. Leaving him here was the mistake. Hale's eyes snapped to her, sharp, cold. You don't get to speak. Kane moved instantly, half step, enough, she speaks. Hale's jaw tightened. First crack. There, small but real. You don't understand what you're protecting. He said it to Kane, but his eyes stayed on Maya. Kane answered, Doesn't matter. Same answer again. That seemed to irritate him more. Hale stepped down another stair, now closer, now dangerous. You take one more step, he said it calmly, and this ends badly for all of you. Tom adjusted Leo slightly, careful, protective. Dex shifted his weight, ready. Rabbit glanced once at Kane, waiting. Everything balanced. One move either way. Kane looked at Hale. Long. Then he took that step. Just one. But it broke everything. Hale didn't raise his voice, didn't shout. He just said one word. Now. And somewhere in the house, a door opened. Upstairs, footsteps. More than one. Kane didn't even look. Move. That was it. Everything exploded into motion. Tom up the stairs fast, Dex right behind, Rabbit covering, Kane pulling Maya with him, lights snapping on, voices shouting. Too late now. No quiet exit, no clean way out. Only one direction. Forward. Footsteps above, fast, heavy. Not one. At least 3. Dex hit the top of the stairs first. Door to the hallway wide open, lights flooding everything. Move. They pushed through, Tom carrying Leo tight, Maya glued to his side. Rabbit checked left, clear. Dex checked right, not clear. 2 men coming down the hallway, big, not cops, security. Hale's kind of security. Private, loyal. Paid not to ask questions. They saw the group, froze half a second, then reached. Too slow. Dex closed the distance first. One hit. Clean. Direct man dropped. Second one stepped back, hand going for something. Rabbit slammed him into the wall, hard. Air left his lungs. No time, no hesitation. Kane moved through, eyes scanning. Where's the front? Maya pointed. Right then, straight. He memorized it instantly. They moved fast now. No more stealth, no more quiet. Behind them, Hale's voice. Stop them! Not loud, but sharp. And now more footsteps, more doors opening, house waking up. Too late to be clean. Now it was speed. They turned the corner, front door ahead. 10 steps, 9, 8. Then another man, bigger than the others, standing in the doorway, gun visible. Not raised yet, but there. That changed everything. Kane slowed half a step, just enough. Dex shifted angle. Rabbit moved left. Tom didn't stop. Couldn't. Kid in his arms. No option. The man lifted the gun. That moment stretched too long. Kane stepped forward. Now Dex moved first. Fast. Faster than expected. Chair from the side table, thrown hard. It hit the man's arm. Gun fired. One shot. Loud, deafening in the house. Bullet hit the wall. Everyone moved at once. Rabbit slammed into him. Gun gone. Tom through the doorway. Maya right behind. Kane last out. Door slammed open. Cold rain hit them again. Bikes still there. Engines cold. No time to warm up. Slow. Dex jumped on his. Rabbit already turning. Key. Kane grabbed Maya. Get on. She didn't hesitate. Climbed on behind him. Tom with Leo on his bike, holding him tight. Engines roared. Loud now. No hiding anymore. House behind them alive. Lights everywhere. Voices shouting. Someone coming out. Hale stepped into the doorway, watching. Not chasing, not rushing. Just watching. That was worse. Kane saw him. For a second, just a second, their eyes met. No anger, no panic, just calculation. Like this was already moving to the next phase. Kane turned away. Go. Bikes tore off the street, water spraying, engines screaming. Fast, too fast for anything behind them to react. Clean. Left turn, then another, then gone. Into the night, into the rain. Silence came slow, only engines now, and breathing, heavy, uneven. Maya held on, tight. Not saying a word, Tom kept checking Leo. Still breathing. Still there. Barely. Dex pulled up beside Kane. We're not done. Kane didn't look at him. I know, Rabbit from the other side. That wasn't security, that was a warning. Yeah. Kane slowed slightly, thinking fast. He let us go. Dex frowned. What? Kane's voice low. He let us leave. That hit. Because it was true. Too easy. Even with the chaos, too controlled. Maya leaned forward slightly, voice close to Kane's ear. He doesn't rush. Kane glanced back at her. He waits. She said it like she knew, like she had seen it before. And that made everything heavier. Kane nodded once. Then we don't give him time. He sped up again, rain cutting through the night, engines louder. Now it wasn't just rescue. Now it was something else, something bigger. And everyone felt it. No one said it, but it was there. They had taken something from a man who doesn't lose things. And that always comes back. They didn't go back to the clubhouse. Too obvious, too easy. Kane led them off the main road, through an old service route. Half-broken asphalt, no lights, no cameras. Safe enough, for now. They stopped under an abandoned overpass, engines cut, rain still falling, but quieter here. For a second, nobody moved. Then, Everything hit at once. Tom got off first. "Careful with Leo," laid him down on his jacket. Maya dropped beside him instantly. "Leo, hey, stay with me," her hands shaking again. But controlled, still controlled. Kane crouched, checked breathing again. Weak, too weak. Dex ran a hand through his hair. "We need a doctor." Rabbit nodded. "Not a hospital, no way." Kane already knew that. Hospital means records. Records mean questions. Questions lead back. And Hale controls questions. Maya looked up. "I know someone." Kane met her eyes. "Who?" "Dr. Elena Cruz, 2 streets from our house. She treated Leo before." Kane held her gaze. "She safe?" Maya didn't answer immediately. That mattered. She doesn't like him. That was enough. Kane stood. "Dex, get the truck." Dex nodded. Gone in seconds. Rabbit stayed on watch, eyes scanning the road. Tom stayed with. Leo, silent heavy Kane, looked at Maya. "You trust her?" Maya nodded. "More than anyone." Kane took that in, then gave a short nod. "All right." Minutes passed. Slow, heavy, every second stretching. Leo didn't move, didn't wake. Maya kept talking to him. Quiet, constant. Like if she stopped, he would slip away. Dex came back. Old pickup, loud engine, but it would do. They loaded Leo in the back. Maya climbed in with him. Didn't ask, didn't wait. Kane got in front, Rabbit beside him, Tom in the back, Dex driving. Go truck pulled out, fast but not reckless, no attention. That mattered now. Every move mattered. They cut through side streets, avoiding main roads, lights off where possible, rain helping, hiding them. Maya leaned over Leo, checking him every second. Still breathing, barely. Kane watched the road, then spoke, without turning. "Tell me about Hale." Maya didn't look up. "He doesn't get angry." That was the first thing she said. "He gets quiet." Kane listened. "When he decides something, it's already done." Rabbit glanced at Kane. "Yeah, that tracks." Maya continued. "He doesn't chase. He waits. He lets people think they got away. Then everything closes. No warning." Dex tightened his grip on the wheel. "So we're already on borrowed time." Maya nodded. "Yes." Silence filled the truck. Heavy. Kane spoke again. "Those men in the house. How many?" Maya answered instantly. 4 regular, 2 rotating. Tonight was light." That landed hard. Light. Kane exhaled slow. Figures. Truck turned one more corner. Small house ahead. Lights on. Maya pointed. "There." They stopped. No hesitation. Kane out first. Knocked once, then again. Door opened fast. Woman, mid-30s, sharp eyes, tired face. She saw Maya, then Leo. Everything changed. Inside, now, no questions. They moved, carried Leo in, set him on the table. Doctor already working, checking pulse, eyes, breathing. Kane stepped back, gave space. Maya stayed, didn't move an inch. Minutes passed. Too slow. Finally, the doctor looked up. "Severe dehydration, malnutrition. He's been neglected." No surprise, but hearing it still hit. "Will he make it?" Maya asked, voice low. The doctor held her gaze. "If we're lucky." That word, lucky. Nobody liked that Kane looked at the room, then at his men, then back at Maya. This wasn't over, not even close. This was just the part where it became something else, something bigger. Because now, it wasn't just about getting the kid out. Now it was about what comes next. And everyone in that room knew Hale wasn't finished. Not even close. Leo didn't wake up. Not at first. Not after 10 minutes. Not after 20. Time stretched inside that small house. Rain tapping against the windows. Clock ticking somewhere in the background. Every sound too loud. Maya didn't move. Still beside him. Still talking low. Like she could pull him back just by staying there. Kane stood near the wall, watching, thinking. Dex paced once, then stopped. Rabbit stayed near the door, always watching outside. Tom sat heavy in a chair, hands still. Too still. Dr. Cruz worked fast, quiet, focused. IV line, fluids, checking everything twice. Finally, Leo's fingers twitched. Small, barely there, but everyone saw it. Maya froze, then leaned closer. Leo. Hey. His eyes moved, slow, struggling, then opened just a little, not fully, but enough. Maya exhaled, like she had been holding it for days. I'm here. You're okay. He didn't answer. Couldn't. But he was there, alive. That was enough, for now. Dr. Cruz stepped back. He needs rest, food, slowly, no shock. She looked at Kane. And now you tell me why this child looks like this. Kane didn't answer immediately. He looked at Maya. She nodded once. It's okay. Kane turned back. Victor Hale. The room changed. Dr. Cruz went still, then slower. You brought this here. Not a question, a statement. Kane didn't move. We didn't bring it. It was already there. She stared at him, long, then looked at Leo again, then at Maya. And something in her face shifted. Fine, she said it quiet but firm. He stays here. Maya nodded immediately. Thank you. Dr. Cruz didn't respond. Already moving again. Work mode, focus. Rabbit stepped closer to Kane, low voice. We can't stay long. Kane nodded. I know. Dex leaned in. He's not going to wait. No, he's not. That truth sat heavy, because they all felt it. The calm at the house, the way Hale watched them leave, that wasn't over. That was the start. Kane turned back to Maya. You stay here. Her head snapped up. No! Too fast, too sharp. I'm not leaving him. You're not safe out there. She stood. Now there was emotion. Real. I wasn't safe in that house either. Silence. Kane looked at her, measured again. Different this time. Not just a kid now, something else. He nodded once. Fine, but you don't leave this house. Not for anything. She held his gaze, then nodded. Deal. Tom stood up slowly. I'll stay. Kane looked at him. Tom didn't explain, didn't need to. Kane nodded. Good. Dex looked between them. We splitting now? Yeah. Rabbit crossed his arms. That's risky. Kane answered. Everything is. No argument after that. Dr. Cruz spoke again. He'll need supplies, proper food, meds. Kane nodded. We'll handle it. She looked at him sharply. No, you won't handle anything stupid around my house. Kane almost smiled. Almost. Noted. She didn't smile back. Good, because if you bring trouble here, I won't help you again. Fair. That was understood. Clear lines. Kane turned to leave, Dex and Rabbit already moving. At the door, Maya spoke again. Wait. They stopped. She stepped closer, lower voice. He keeps files. Kane turned. What kind? I don't know everything, but it's bad. Names, cases, people. She swallowed. Things that disappear. That hit hard. Dex leaned in. You seen them? Maya nodded. In his office, bottom drawer, locked. Rabbit exhaled slow. There it is. Kane's eyes sharpened. Where exactly? She stepped forward, drew it in the air. Second floor, left side, end of the hall. He memorized it instantly. You sure? Yes. Kane nodded. Then we go back. Not tonight, but soon. Dex smirked slightly. Now we're talking. Rabbit didn't smile. This just became war. Kane didn't deny it, didn't confirm it, just opened the door. Cold air hit again, rain lighter now, but still there. He looked back once, at Maya, at Leo, then stepped out, Dex and Rabbit behind him. Door closed. Inside, safe. For now, outside, everything else waiting. The house was too quiet again, not empty, waiting. That was the difference. Kane killed the engine 2 blocks away. No lights, no noise. Dex leaned forward. Same plan. Kane shook his head. No, different now. Rabbit watched the house. Lights still on upstairs. He's there. Of course he is. Kane nodded. He didn't leave. He never leaves something unfinished. That settled it. They moved. Same path, same shadows. But this time, they knew. This wasn't entry. This was return. And that changes things. Dex checked the side. Clear. Rabbit scanned the street. Nothing. 2. Nothing. Kane felt it. Wrong again. They reached the back door. Still unlocked, still easy. Dex whispered, He wants us to come back. Kane didn't answer, but he thought the same. They stepped inside. Kitchen. Exactly the same. Too clean, too still. No signs of earlier. No broken things, no blood, no chaos. Like it never happened. That was worse. Rabbit closed the door behind them. Slow, careful. Kane moved forward. Hallway. Dark. Only light upstairs. Office. Maya's words replaying. Second floor, left end of hall. Dex stayed low. Rabbit covering rear. Kane moved up the stairs. Each step measured, controlled. No rush. Not this time. Halfway up, a sound. Not footsteps. Breathing. Close. Too close. Dex froze, hand raised. Wait. They listened. Nothing again. Just silence, but heavier now. Kane reached the top, turned left. Hallway stretched long, light at the end. Office door slightly open, exactly like she said. Kane moved forward. 1 step, 2, 3. Then a click. Behind them, they turned. Fast. Door at the stairs. Closed. Locked. Dex swore low. Trap. Kane didn't react. Not outward. He just turned back toward the office. Of course. Rabbit checked the door. Solid. No quick way out. Figures. Kane pushed the office door open. Slow. Inside, Victor Hale sat at the desk. Calm. Waiting. Told you. He said it like greeting guests. You'd come back. No weapon in his hand. Didn't need one. Desk drawer slightly open, like he wanted them to notice. Kane stepped in. Didn't stop. We're taking the files. Direct. No. Hale leaned back slightly, studying him. You really don't understand how this works. Kane didn't answer. Dex moved to the side, Rabbit covering the hallway. Hale's eyes flicked between them, counting again. Always counting. You think paper changes anything? He tapped the desk lightly. You think names scare me? Kane's voice low. We'll see. Hale smiled, small, controlled. You already lost. That word hung. Wrong. Dex frowned. What? Hale tilted his head. You think this was about the boy? Silence. Kane's eyes narrowed. Then what? Hale's smile didn't move. It was about you. That landed. Different. Rabbit shifted. Dex looked at Kane. Kane didn't react, but he felt it. Something under the surface moving. Hale continued. I wanted to see who you'd bring, how fast you'd move, how you think. He tapped the desk again. Now I know. Silence. Heavy. Kane stepped closer. Enough. He reached for the drawer, fast. Hale didn't stop him. That was the problem. Inside files, stacks, names, photos, documents. Real. Very real. Dex leaned in. Jesus. Rabbit exhaled. This is bad. Kane grabbed them, all of them. Hale watched, still calm. You take those, he said it quietly, and everything you just touched becomes yours. Kane paused, just a fraction. Hale leaned forward, voice lower now. Personal. You walk out with that. You don't get to walk back. Ever. Silence. That was the real line. Not threat, not anger. Final. Kane closed the folder, looked at him. We already crossed that line. Hale held his gaze, long, then nodded, almost respectful. Then go. He said it simply. Rabbit snapped his head toward him. What? Hale didn't look at him. Go before I change my mind. Kane didn't move, didn't trust it. Dex whispered, This is wrong. Yeah, it was. Too easy. Again, Kane backed up slowly, files in hand, eyes still on Hale. Rabbit unlocked the tension in his stance, but didn't drop it. Dex moved first. Door locked still. Hale spoke. Second panel, left side. Rabbit checked. Hidden latch. Door clicked open. That hit. Hard. He was guiding them out. Why? Kane didn't ask, didn't take the bait. They moved fast now, down the stairs through the kitchen, out into the night. No one followed, no one chased. Just silence. Again, back on the bikes, engines roaring. They took off, rain gone now, road clear. But something was wrong. Dex pulled alongside Kane. He let us go again. Kane didn't answer. Rabbit from the other side. That wasn't mercy. No. Kane finally spoke. That was a move, and none of them liked that. Not even a little. They didn't slow down, not until they were miles out. Not until the town lights were behind them. Not until the road turned empty. Only then Kane raised a hand. They pulled off. Engines cut. Silence hit hard. Dex jumped off first. What the hell was that? No answer. Rabbit paced once, then stopped. He opened the folder Kane held, flipped it, then another, then another. His face changed, slow. This isn't just bad. This is everything. Photos, names, dates, people in power, people missing, cases closed too fast, connections, all of it tied together. Dex leaned in. You're telling me he kept all this in his house? Rabbit shook his head. No, he kept copies. That word, copies. Kane finally spoke. He wanted us to take it. Silence. That landed hard. Dex frowned. Why? Kane looked at the files. Because now we're holding it. Rabbit nodded slowly. Yeah. And that means we're part of it. Exactly. That was the move. Not stopping them, pulling them in. Deep. Dex exhaled. So what now? Kane didn't answer immediately. He looked down at one photo. A judge, a signature, a missing kid case. Closed. Too clean. He closed the folder. Now, we don't rush. Rabbit crossed his arms. He wants us to react. Yeah. Dex kicked a small rock. Too late. We already did. Kane shook his head. No. We did exactly what he expected. Now we do what he doesn't. That shifted the air. Rabbit looked at him. Which is, Kane looked back toward the town. Dark now. Quiet. We don't hit him. We break him. Slow. Controlled. Dex smirked slightly. Now that sounds better. But Rabbit didn't smile. You think we have time for slow? Kane answered without hesitation. We don't have time for stupid. That settled it. For now. He looked at Dex. Get copies. Multiple spread them. If something happens to us, this goes public. Dex nodded, already thinking. Rabbit added, we need leverage, names that matter, people above him. Kane nodded. Find the ones he can't control. Silence again, but different now. Focused. Then, headlights, in the distance, coming fast, too fast. All three turned. Instinct. Rabbit reached for his weapon. Dex stepped back toward the bikes. Kane stayed still, watching. Lights got closer. No sirens, but that didn't matter. Truck. Black. No markings. It didn't slow down, didn't hesitate, just came straight at them. Move! Kane shouted. Too late. Truck swerved, clipped one of the bikes. Metal crashed. Dex went down hard. Rabbit rolled clear. Kane grabbed him, pulling him out of the path. Truck didn't stop, didn't even slow, just kept going, gone in seconds. Silence slammed back in, heavy, broken. Dex groaned, trying to get up. I'm good. Liar. But alive. Rabbit looked down the road. Gone. Kane's jaw tightened. That wasn't random. No, Rabbit answered. That was the first hit. Dex sat up slowly. Yeah. Message received. Kane looked at the folder, still in his hand, then at the road, then back at his men. He's not waiting. No, he's already moving. That was the reality, clear now. No more guessing, no more maybe. War had already started. They just didn't see the first move. Kane helped Dex up. Can you ride? Yeah, barely, but yeah. Good, because we don't stop. Not now, not after this. Rabbit picked up the fallen bike, checked it fast, still working. They got back on. Engines roared again, but this time it felt different. Not escape, not mission. This was pursuit. And behind them, somewhere in the dark, Victor Hale was already ahead. They didn't go back to the clubhouse, not after that hit, not after the files, not after Hale made his first move. Kane led them further out, past the edge of town, past the last streetlight, into a place no one goes unless they already know it exists. Old garage, falling apart outside, solid inside, hidden, safe enough for now. They rolled in, doors shut behind them, engines cut, silence. Again. But this one was different. Not shock, not confusion. This was war silence. Dex dropped into a chair, winced, but waved it off. I said, I'm good. No one believed him. Rabbit spread the files across the table, careful, like handling something alive. "This is bigger than him," he said it low. "Names don't stop at Hale." Kane stepped closer, looked. Judges' contracts, police reports, altered cases buried. A system, not a man. Dex leaned forward. "So we didn't pick a fight. We stepped into one already running." Rabbit nodded. "Exactly." Tom's voice came from the corner. "Quiet." "Then we don't fight him. We break the system." That shifted something. Kane looked at him, slow, then nodded. "Yeah, that's how he falls. Not by force, by exposure." Dex smirked. "So we go clean, for once?" Kane didn't smile. "We go smart. Different thing." Rabbit pointed at one file. "This one, state level. That's above Hale." Dex leaned in. "If this gets out, he's not protected anymore." Kane nodded. "That's the play." But he tapped the table. "We don't rush it." Rabbit crossed his arms. "We're already in it. He's already hitting." Dex added, "And he knows where we ride." That landed, because it was true. Hale knew them now. Patterns, faces, moves. Kane spoke. "Then we stop being predictable." Silence. Everyone listening. "We split routes. No routines, no patterns." Rabbit nodded. "And the kids." That mattered most. Kane looked at Tom. "You stay." Tom didn't hesitate. Already decided. "Maya and Leo don't move, not until this ends." Dex exhaled. "And it's not ending quick." No, it wasn't. Kane looked at the files again, then at his men. "This is step 1. Rabbit tilted his head. "What's step 2? Kane answered. "We find someone bigger than him." Dex raised a brow. "And they help us why?" Kane's voice low. "Because if this goes public, they fall too." That was it. Leverage. Real leverage. Rabbit nodded slowly. "Yeah, that works." Dex leaned back. "All right, now we're thinking." For a moment, it almost felt controlled, like they had a path, like they were ahead. Then, phone buzzed. Everyone froze. Dex looked at it. Unknown number. Of course. He didn't answer. Phone buzzed again, and again Kane stepped closer. "Answer it." Dex hesitated, then picked up. "Yeah?" Silence. Then a voice, calm, familiar. "You're moving faster than I expected." Dex's face changed. "Put it on speaker," Kane said. Dex did. Victor Hale's voice filled the room. No rush, no anger, just control. "You should check on the doctor." Everything stopped. Maya, Leo. Tom Kane stepped forward. "What did you do?" Hale didn't answer directly. "I told you, this wasn't about the boy." Dex's jaw clenched. "You touch them?" Hale cut him off. "I don't rush. Remember?" Rabbit was already moving, grabbing keys. "We go. Now." Kane nodded. "Move." Everything snapped back into motion. Chairs scraping, boots hitting concrete, engines about to wake again. No plan now, just urgency. Because Hale just made it clear he wasn't chasing them. He was ahead, always ahead. And now, he moved again. Engines screamed back to life. No formation, no spacing, just speed. Kane didn't wait, didn't plan, didn't calculate. Straight line back. Fast. Too fast. Dex pushed the truck harder than before. Rabbit already ahead, cutting through side streets. No more hiding. No more careful. This was reaction. And that's exactly where Hale wanted them. Kane knew it. Felt it. But it didn't matter. Not now. Not with that call. You should check on the doctor. That line kept repeating, over and over. They turned the last corner, house in sight, lights still on. But something was wrong. Door open, slight, but enough. Kane didn't wait for the truck to stop. He jumped out before it fully slowed. Move. Rabbit already at the door, gun up, Dex right behind. They went in, fast, no hesitation. Inside, silence. Too quiet again. Different quiet. Not safe. Not waiting. After Kane moved first, doctor, no answer. Kitchen empty. Table still set. One glass knocked over. Water on the floor. Rabbit checked left. Clear. Dex checked hallway. Clear. Too clean again. Kane's jaw tightened. Where? Then, a sound. Back room. Soft. Not movement. Breathing. They moved fast. Door open. Dr. Cruz on the floor. Alive. Barely conscious. Maya next to her, holding pressure on. Her arm. Blood butt controlled. Not fatal. Maya looked up. He came, voice shaking now, finally breaking, but still holding. Kane dropped beside them. What happened? Maya swallowed. He didn't touch Leo. That mattered. He looked at him, then at me. Then he said. She stopped. Kane leaned closer. What? Maya's voice low. Tell them to stop. Silence. Dex cursed under his breath. Rabbit turned away for a second, processing. Kane looked at the doctor. She'll live. Maya nodded. He didn't want her dead. He wanted us to see. Exactly. That was it. Message clear, controlled. No chaos, no mistakes. Just pressure. Kane stood slowly. Something changed in him. Not anger. Not yet. Focus. Cold. Precise. He looked at Dex. Get her treated. Now. Dex nodded, already moving. Rabbit helped lift her. Careful. Tom came out from the other room. Leo still breathing, still stable. That was the only good thing. Maya stayed where she was, hands still shaking, but her eyes different now. Not just fear, not just desperation. Understanding. He's playing with us. Kane looked at her. Yeah. She stood slowly. Then we stop reacting. That landed hard, because she was right. Kane nodded once. Exactly. Rabbit looked back. So what now? Kane didn't answer immediately. He looked around the room. The overturned glass, the blood, the silence. Then back at Maya. He made his move. Now we make ours. Dex from the other side. And this one sticks. Kane's voice lower now. Final. We don't just expose him. We take everything. All at once. Rabbit narrowed his eyes. You talkin' big? Kane held his gaze. I'm talking finish. Silence. Heavy. Then Tom spoke, from the doorway. Then we need more than us. Kane nodded. Already there. Dex frowned. Who? Kane answered. The ones in those files. The ones he can't control. Rabbit exhaled. That's dangerous. Kane almost smiled. Everything is. Maya stepped forward. I know one. They all looked at her. She didn't hesitate. Name came clean. Judge Halverson. Dex reacted. That's high level. Yeah, Maya nodded. And he hates Hale. That changed everything. Kane looked at her. You sure? She met his eyes. Yes. Silence. Then Kane nodded. Good, because now we stop being targets and we become the problem. The room shifted. Not panic, not reaction. Direction. Finally, Kane looked at Maya. Judge Halverson, you're sure? She nodded. He came to the house once, argued with Hale, didn't stay long, but he wasn't scared. That mattered. Dex leaned in. Where do we find him? Maya answered fast. Office, downtown, but he doesn't stay late. Rabbit added. So we don't go to him, we pull him out. Kane nodded. Yeah. Neutral ground. No cameras, no witnesses, no control. Tom crossed his arms. And why would he listen? Kane tapped the folder. Because we don't ask. We show. Dex smirked. Now that works. But Rabbit didn't move. And if he's dirty too? Silence. That risk sat there, real heavy. Kane answered. Then we learn that fast. No hesitation, no second guessing. Maya stepped closer. He's not like Hale. Kane looked at her. Careful. You don't know that. She held his gaze. I know the difference. That landed, because she wasn't guessing. She had lived inside it. Kane nodded once. All right, we try. Dex checked his watch. It's late. Kane shook his head. Not waiting. We move now. Rabbit grabbed his jacket. I'll set the meat. Dex frowned. You think he just shows up? Kane answered. He will, when he sees what we have. He lifted the folder slightly. That was leverage. Real leverage. Tom looked toward the back room. Maya, Leo, you stay. Maya didn't argue this time. Different now. She understood the game. Just bring it down. She said it quiet, but it hit. Kane met her eyes. We will. No promises, just intent. They moved fast, out the door, back into the night. No rain now, clear sky, but it felt worse, because now nothing hid them. Engines started again, low, controlled. They didn't speed this time, not reckless. This was precise, calculated, different phase. Dex rode beside Kane. You trust this judge? Kane didn't look at him. I trust pressure. Fair. Rabbit pulled ahead, already working the route. Abandoned parking structure, edge of downtown, half closed, barely used. Perfect. They rolled in, engines echoing, empty space, concrete shadows, no one around. They waited, minutes slow, then headlights, single car, black, clean. It pulled in, stopped, engine off. Door opened, man stepped out, suit, older, sharp eyes. Judge Halverson. He looked at them, not scared, just cautious. That mattered. Kane stepped forward, folder in hand. Judge didn't move closer. You have 5 minutes, direct, no games. Kane nodded, opened the folder, held it out. The judge took it, flipped once, then again, then slower. His face changed. Not fear, recognition. He knew. Of course he knew. He closed it, looked at Kane. Where did you get this? Kane answered. From the man you couldn't touch. Silence. Heavy. Judge exhaled slowly. You have no idea what you're holding. Kane stepped closer. Yeah, we do. That was the point. Judge looked between them, then back at the folder. If this goes public, half this state burns. Dex spoke from behind. Good. Judge snapped his eyes to him. You think that ends clean? No one answered. Because it wouldn't. Kane spoke instead. We're not here for clean. We're here for him. Judge studied him, long, measuring. Then finally, why should I help you? There it was, the real question. Kane didn't hesitate. Because you already want him gone. Silence. Judge didn't deny it, didn't confirm, just watched. Kane added, and now you finally can. That was the hook. Perfect. Judge looked down at the folder again, then back up, slow, careful. If I do this, there's no turning back. Kane nodded. We know. Judge held his gaze, then gave a small nod. All right. That word changed everything. Dex exhaled. Rabbit relaxed half a step. Kane didn't move. What's the play? Judge answered. We don't leak it. We bury him with it. All at once. Coordinated. Courts, press internal. No escape. Kane nodded. Good. Judge looked at him one more time, then said it. Quiet. You just started something you can't stop. Kane's answer came just as quiet. It was already started. Everything moved fast after that. Not chaotic, precise. Judge Halverson didn't waste time. No speeches, no hesitation. He made calls, right there, in front of them. Low voice, controlled. Names dropped. Important names, Kane watched. Not the words, the reactions, short pauses, tone shifts, how fast people answered. That told him more than anything. Rabbit leaned in slightly. He's real. Dex nodded. Yeah, no bluff. This was happening. For real. Judge ended the last call, put the phone down, looked at Kane. We have a window. Short. How short? Kane asked. Hours. That hit. Not days, not tomorrow. Now. Judge continued. Once this starts, it doesn't stop. But until then, he knows something's off. Dex frowned. He already knows. Judge shook his head. No, he suspects. There's a difference. Kane understood that. Suspect means cautious. Know means reaction. We keep him guessing, Kane said. Judge nodded. Exactly. Rabbit crossed his arms. What's first? Judge opened the folder again, pulled one document. This, search authorization, pre-signed, not public yet. Kane took it, looked. Real, stamped clean. This gets us inside, Judge said. Legally. That word mattered. For the first time, they had something clean. Dex smirked slightly. Didn't think we'd ever use that word. Kane didn't react. Focus, Rabbit added. And after Judge answered, simultaneous, multiple locations, multiple seizures, multiple arrests. He looked at Kane. We don't give him time to move. Kane nodded. Good. That was the only way. Hit everything, all at once. No escape routes. Dex looked between them. And us? Where do we fit? Judge didn't hesitate. You're already in. Silence. He wasn't wrong. "You brought me this," he said. "Which means if this fails, you don't exist anymore." That landed hard, but no one stepped back. Kane answered, "Then it doesn't fail." Judge held his gaze, long, then nodded. "Good." Rabbit checked the exits, still clear, but tension rising. They all felt it, clock ticking. Kane spoke. "We need eyes on him." Judge shook his head. "No, too risky." Kane didn't agree. "We don't move blind." Judge paused, thinking. "Then, one condition." He looked at Kane. "No contact, no confrontation. You watch, nothing more." Kane nodded. "Deal." "Deck's already moving. I'll take it." Rabbit followed. "I'm with you." Kane stayed with the judge. 1 second longer. "You trust your people?" Judge asked. Kane answered without pause. "Yes." Judge nodded. "Then this works." That was it. Dex and Rabbit gone, back into the night. Now it split. 2 fronts, one watching, one preparing. Time moved faster now, every minute heavier. Kane stood still for a second, then looked at the judge. "When this hits, you ready for what comes after?" Judge didn't smile, didn't hesitate. "I've been ready for years." That told Kane everything. This wasn't just opportunity. This was personal. "Good." He turned, walked out, back to the bike. Engine roared. City ahead. Lights still on. Everything normal, for now. But under it, something was shifting. Big and irreversible. Because somewhere across town, Victor Hale was still sitting in that house. Still calm, still waiting. But not for long. Dex and Rabbit didn't speak. Not on the ride, not on the approach. Eyes on the house. Lights still on. Same as before. Too same. Dex slowed 2 streets out. Killed the engine. They rolled the rest. Silent. Stopped behind a line of trees. Clear view. Front door windows. 2nd floor. Rabbit lifted binoculars. Checked. Slow movement upstairs. Office. "He's there." Dex nodded. "Of course." Rabbit kept watching. "Wait." Dex leaned in. "What?" Rabbit adjusted focus. Someone else. That changed things. Where? Downstairs. Moving. Not security. Different. Dex narrowed his eyes. Police. Unmarked. That hit. Fast. He knows. Rabbit shook his head slightly. "No, not fully. This is precaution." Dex exhaled. "He's tightening." Rabbit lowered the binoculars. "Or he's preparing." Same thing. Dex pulled out the phone, called Kane. "He's not alone." Kane's voice low. "How many?" 2 inside, maybe more outside. Silence. Then, "Judge was right," Kane said. "Windows closing." Rabbit added, "We don't have time." Dex watched the house. Lights flickered slightly. Then, another car pulled up slow. No lights. Stopped across the street. More. That was it. "They're locking it down," Dex said. Kane didn't hesitate. "Pull back." Rabbit frowned. "We lose eyes?" Kane answered, "We don't lose everything." That mattered more. Dex nodded. They pulled back. Slow. Careful. No. "Attention. Back to the road." Engine on only when needed. Once clear, Dex spoke. "He's moving early." "Yeah," Rabbit said. "Which means he feels it. Pressure working. But also danger rising." Dex tightened his grip. "So we hit now?" Rabbit shook his head. "No, we hit right." That was the difference. Back at the structure, Kane was already waiting, Judge beside him. Dex pulled up. "Got off." They're reinforcing inside and out. Judge nodded. Expected? Kane looked at him. Then we don't wait. Judge hesitated, just a fraction. Then we accelerate. He pulled out his phone again, faster now, different tone. Urgent. Not panicked, controlled urgency. Calls going out, orders moving. Dex watched. So this is it? Rabbit answered. Yeah, this is the part where it breaks. Kane looked at both of them. Stay ready. Once it starts, we move. No mistakes. They nodded, all of them, because there was no room left, no second chances. Minutes passed. Then sirens, far but growing. Judge ended the call, looked at Kane. It started. That word, started. Not coming, not soon. Now. Kane nodded once. Then we finish it. He got on the bike, engine roared. Dex and Rabbit followed. Judge got back in his car. Different routes, same destination. City ahead. Sirens louder now, lights flashing in the distance. Everything waking up, everything moving. And in the middle of it, one house, one man, who had been in control of everything. Until now. Sirens everywhere now, not distant, close, closing in. Blue and red lights cutting through the dark, flashing across buildings, windows, wet pavement. Kane didn't slow, didn't hesitate, straight toward it. Dex beside him, Rabbit just behind. No hiding anymore. This was the moment. They turned the final street, and there it was. Hale's house, lit up. Police cars, unmarked units, men moving fast, controlled chaos, not panic, organized. Judge Halverson's work already in motion. Kane cut the engine half a block out, watched, didn't move yet. Timing mattered. Dex leaned in. We going in? Kane shook his head. Not yet. Rabbit scanned. Perimeter tight. Yeah, Judge did it right. No leaks, no warning. Just impact then. Front door opened. Victor Hale stepped out, surrounded instantly, hands grabbed, voices shouting. But he didn't fight, didn't resist, didn't panic. That was the last thing. He stayed calm, even now. Dex frowned. Why is he not reacting? Rabbit answered low, because he still thinks he wins. That hit hard. Kane watched Hale's eyes scanning, not the officers, not the scene, looking for something, for someone. Then, for a second, he saw them, down the street, in the shadows. Their eyes met again, same as before. No anger, no fear, just that same calculation. Like this wasn't the end, like this was just another move. Kane didn't look away, didn't break it. Neither did Hale. Then they pushed him into the car. Door slammed, lights flashed, vehicle pulled out. Gone. Just like that. Silence didn't come. Sirens still going, people still moving. But for Kane, it shifted. That part was done. Dex exhaled. That's it. Rabbit shook his head slowly. No, that's not it. Kane knew. Of course he knew. He watched the house, officers going in, files coming out, evidence stacking, system turning. Finally. But systems are slow, and men like Hale don't fall easy. Kane spoke. This isn't over. Dex looked at him. He's in cuffs. Yeah, Kane answered. For now. Rabbit crossed his arms, and after Kane didn't answer immediately, because that was the real question. After, he looked back at the house, then at the street, then finally, forward. We make sure there is no after. That was it. Final line. No hesitation, no doubt. Dex nodded slowly. Yeah, now I like that plan. Rabbit didn't smile, but he agreed. You don't leave men like him breathing space. Kane turned back to the bike, engine on, low, controlled, because even with sirens, even with arrests, even with everything moving, this wasn't finished. Not until the last piece fell, and they were going to be there for that. Morning came quiet, too quiet. No sirens, no lights, no chaos. Just normal, like nothing happened. But it had. Everything had shifted. Kane stood outside the garage, coffee in hand. Didn't drink it, just held it, watching the road. Dex came out. You ever notice, he said, how fast things go back to normal? Kane nodded. Yeah, like it never mattered. Rabbit stepped out behind him, but it did. He said it low, firm. Tom pulled up a minute later, got out slow, looked tired but different, relieved. Kane turned. How is he? Tom nodded once. Better. Eating. That word, eating, hit harder than anything. Maya came out after him, standing in the doorway. Not the same girl anymore. Still 14, but not the same. Kane looked at her. He's safe? She nodded. Yeah. Pause, then, thank you. Simple. Real Kane didn't answer. Didn't need to. She already knew. Dex stretched. So, what now? That question again. Always comes after. Rabbit answered first. Now we wait. Kane shook his head. No. They looked at him. We don't wait. That tone. Different. Final. Dex frowned. He's locked up. Kane looked at him. For now. Same words again, but this time heavier. Rabbit nodded slowly. Yeah, there's always a next move. Maya stepped forward. He has people. Still, Kane looked at her. I know. Silence. Then Kane set the coffee down, finally, untouched. He looked at all of them, one by one. We finish it. Dex smirked slightly. Didn't we already? Kane shook his head. No, we stopped him. Now we erase him. That landed. Different. Not reaction, not defense. Final. Rabbit crossed his arms. How Kane answered. Everything in those files, every name, every deal, every lie. We don't let it disappear. Dex nodded. We burn it all. Kane looked at him. No, not burn. Expose. Slow. Controlled. So there's nothing left to rebuild. That was smarter. That was permanent. Rabbit exhaled. Yeah, that's how you end it. Tom leaned against the truck. Quiet. Then, good. That was all he said, but it was enough. Maya looked between them, then back at Kane. He won't come back. Not like before. Kane held her gaze. No, not like before. That was true, because men like hail don't disappear clean. They fall. And when they fall, they take everything with them. Kane picked up his jacket, put it on slow, then looked back once more. At Maya, at Tom, at the house. At what this started as. One girl, one brother, one door kicked open. And now, everything was different. He turned, walked toward the bike, Dex already there, Rabbit beside him. Engine started, low, steady, not rushing anywhere, not running, moving forward. Maya watched them until the sound faded, until the road went quiet again. She stood there a second longer, then turned, went back inside, closed the door. And for the first time in days, the house felt safe. Outside, the road stretched empty, but somewhere, far from there, In rooms with no windows, in offices with locked doors, names were being spoken, files were being opened, and a man who once controlled everything was losing it, piece by piece. Not loud, not fast, but permanent. And that was the part no one could stop.